Carol the Coach. Sex, love, and relationships. We talk about it here.
Carol the Coach. Compassion with contemporary relevance.
I am a psychotherapist. I can be your personal life coach, and I can help you with your issues. There are no problems too small or too big. You can talk about anything.
Speaker, columnist, radio TV host, and commentator. Carol the Coach brings messages of wellness and empowerment within reach of everyday people every day.
Almost 5 years ago, I lost my soulmate in an accident. He was killed in a plane crash. Life just, for me, has seemed to stop.
There are groups all over the city. I teach one. It is a specific way to start thinking so that you shift how you see the world, which then shifts your energy, and then you feel better and you actually see things differently.
Carol the Coach. Always available too at carolthecoach.com.
Now I've got Russell on the line.
I'm 47 years old. I'm a truck driver. I'm married. I have a wife in San Francisco.
Okay.
I haven't been home in 6 months. My thing is, I don't know if I have a sex addiction or what the problem is. Why do I want what I can't have? And as soon as I can have it, I don't want it anymore.
You're right on target when you say, I don't know if I have a sexual addiction. Well, guess what? Yes, you do. And you know what? That's my specialty, Russell. So you're at the right place. Continue.
I meet women online, and I'm in a different part of the country. I travel all 48 states, so I love sex.
I hear self-esteem issues. You never felt good enough, and you didn't feel like you were getting what you should have then, and you're reenacting that now. Do you want to change that about yourself?
You get what you need.
You know, we really know that we can make things work for a sex addict. There's no doubt about it. Sexual addiction can get better if a sex addict is willing to do the hard work for his own individual recovery. And if he's in relationship, or if she's in relationship, that relationship can also be repaired if both parties want it to be. Now, one of the incredible things that I am doing, and I really think this is amazing, is that Help Them Heal, book that navigates you through the 3 phases of partner betrayal. It's been around about 14 months, and I just completed the online course. If you're not a book reader, if you don't want to listen to me on Audible, and it is me, I recorded the whole thing, then get the online course. Go to teachable.com, look for Carol the Coach, and you'll see a Help Her Heal course. You'll see an Unleashing Your Power course for post-traumatic growth for partners. And then you'll see this incredible Help Them Heal course. I mean, literally, it teaches you both how to navigate the relationship, getting you from safety and stabilization through grief and anger, mourning and loss, and then over there to post-traumatic growth. I am so excited for our guest today because she has actually helped me with ERCEM. She has helped me train professionals all over the world on the early recovery couples empathy model. And so Aarti is from Singapore. She's the only certified partner specialist over on Southeast Asia. And she has an approach to working with partners called Discovery to Recovery. That's right, Discovery to Recovery. And it focuses on all those practical tools to deal with complex issues. Now, she has made it her mission. She knows that there's certain levels of care. I mean, we've got partners that are not traumatized, very, very few. And then we have partners that have post-traumatic stress disorder. We have partners that have complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And these partners may or not get better with individual care, or they may need individual care, and they may need an intensive, something that gives them a break and really allows them to transform. And so Aarti has been working diligently with another woman to create this stage of recovery, if you will. This retreat offers a chance for partners to rejuvenate themselves through trauma work, partner betrayal work, yoga, breath work, mindfulness. It's the first of its kind in South India. And so I was just thinking, wouldn't it be cool if your spouse who caused you this problem, if he or she said, I'll send you anywhere in the world to get healthy? You know, those are the kind of clients I work with. Now, they're not all super rich. And let's face it, a flight from the United States might cost a pretty penny. However, lots and lots of people collect points and they can get out there and do this retreat in just the most harmonious sanctuary that I think I've ever seen. I'm going to give you Aarti's information so that she can send you some beautiful, beautiful. It's not a brochure. It's really an informational group of sheets. I'm going to see what she calls it. But I'm telling you, this retreat allows you to embrace nature's serenity and discover your own inner self while finding safety and stabilization with other partners. You know, it's so important to foster strength and to foster empowerment. And so we're going to talk to her about that. Just in the same way that you can help your relationship heal if you get my online course, and we are actually putting it on my website this week. That's Sex Help with Carol the Coach, which morphs into Help Them Heal. Now, I know I sound a little hoarse. I was outside 2 different evenings all night with my friends, and I'm telling you, I think the pollen got to me. And that's even more of a lesson to say, maybe I need to talk a little bit less. You know, I am a super extrovert and I do a lot of training and I talk all day long. So bear with me as my voice is not quite as on target as it could be. And, you know, I'm so proud of this Blog Talk podcast and the people that come on it that are willing to make a difference in the lives of sex addicts and partners. I mean, their creativity is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to let Aarti introduce herself. And I've got some questions to ask her about this amazing retreat. But Aarti, welcome to Sex Help with Carol the Coach. Let everybody know who you are and where you're located right this very minute.
Hi, Carol. Thank you so much for having me. To everybody who's listening, I am Aarti, working with Partners of Betrayal Trauma all the way from Singapore. So we are a small little island nation in Asia. And as you can all imagine, we do need a lot of partner betrayal resources in this part of the world as well. So at this point, I'm the only certified APSATS therapist working with partners. And thanks to Carol's amazing work with ERCEM and that modality, I use ERCEM to help couples in recovery as well. So hi, Carol. So happy to be here.
Well, thank you so much. And, you know, I used to be the only CSAT in Indianapolis, Indiana. And yes, I know what kind of pressure and what kind of responsibility that placed on my shoulders so that people got the right help. And
Absolutely.
You are the only clinical certified therapist in Southeast Asia. And
at this point, yes.
You know, you have just been so creative with your courses, creative with discovery to recovery, and now creative with this retreat. tell us a little bit about why this retreat is so important to partners all over the world. And I think you're just limiting this right now to females, or are you opening it
Yes.
up? Okay.
At this point, it's only for females. Who knows? Maybe next time we could increase it if the need arises. But right now, it's just for females. And I'm loving the question, why did I do this whole endeavor of starting or creating this partner retreat? Well, Carol, what I notice is partners, irrespective of where they are globally, do feel very under-resourced, do feel very disconnected. And thanks to COVID, that's just become a little bit more because most of the support groups have just gone online. And a lot of them, even locally, because we want to keep it accessible to everybody, come online, or because of kids, because of timing, just, jump online and try to join whatever support group they can. That was one of the reasons why I said, listen, we all need to come together and support one another in this recovery. That was one of my first thoughts when I started thinking, what do we need? How do partners move or progress? I mean, they seem to be doing all the steps. They seem to be, going to the right recovery, but sometimes they still feel stuck. So again, research went into the fact that it is about connecting them with others as well. That beautifully. But also, I think it's also removing them from that mundane, toxic environment, which I think a lot of them just feel stuck in. The guys have their inpatients to go to sometimes where they can disconnect and focus on their recovery for weeks. But partners are again left in the same space, managing the kids, managing the households, managing all those things. And they constantly, at least my partners constantly kept asking me, can't we be taken away? Can I not just go away for some time? I just want to disconnect from all that is pressuring me and stopping me from self-care and focusing on myself. So that was one of the key motivators for me to think about doing this partner retreat, to give partners a moment, even if it's just for 7 days, to go to a place where it's all about them, their recovery, their needs, their self-care. So that was where it started from. And, while it is in Asia, and it is actually, I'm doing it in India this time, the beautiful southern hills of India, to a very lesser known place called Munnar. But the whole idea was to get them to disconnect from everything and just focus back into themselves in nature, do yoga, do meditation. And I'm very excited because the structure that I've planned is beautifully suited for anybody in any stage of recovery, even if you've just found out and you're even toying with the idea, do I need to go for help? Do I need to, if you just want to just find yourself, take a breath, come to the retreat. Start your journey from there. If you've been there for a long time and you're still feeling, well, I'm doing this again and again, but I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel, I want to jumpstart something, I have to move something, come to the retreat. Because the way it's structured, it'll cater to everybody's needs and bring in that sense of, this is about me as much as my own recovery. Yes, my husband has to do well, or my partner has to do well, but I need to put on my own oxygen mask. So this was the broad strokes of why I wanted to do the retreat.
Well, and before you got on, I was telling our listening audience that I've seen, I guess it's called a brochure. It's several pages of being able to see the environment that you're putting these women in. And I mean, it is exactly what someone would imagine to be taken out of their own personal environment and put in a serene, gorgeous, green, lush area. And then, I mean, the place that they're going to stay, it's like you're out there with Buddha or something. I mean, the structures are incredible. The rooms are beautiful. Oh, Aarti, you guys have outdone yourself. And this is your baby, and you're actually, you're working together with several other people to make this happen, aren't you?
I'm working with a qualified yoga professional from India, whom I have had the personal this thing of being her student, and realized she understands trauma in the body, because the way she would talk about moving through, why certain joints were more stuck and why that was happening. So I was like, okay, you're coming on when I do this, coming on, because I think it was really, really important for me to do the whole mind body connection in this. We're going to be doing breath work, quite a bit of it, meditation and breath work. So I was just going just before coming on, because I wanted to be giving everybody clearly, as much as possible, without giving too much away as well, what they could look forward to. And they're going to start with yoga in the morning through movement. They're going to end with breath work and yoga, and meditation in the evening. Sorry. So we got like nearly 2.5 hours every day of doing that. In the middle, we're going to do about 4 or 5 hours of group work and therapeutic work with tools. So we're going to work on boundaries, we're going to work on triggers, we're going to work on distortions, we're going to work on gaslighting, and all of them with practical tools. And you know this about me, Carol, by now. My whole endeavor is to move it away from the theoretical realm and give them practical tools to use and take back and incorporate in their day-to-day recovery. It's not just going there and getting to know some fancy terms and coming back, but how are you going to use that in your everyday? So all that is going to be part of it. And the yoga instructor that I have is very, very experienced. And I'm going to be doing the therapeutic part of it, and she's going to be doing the yoga and the breath part of it. So together we feel that we have a complete package to offer for anybody who would be interested.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. And I'll tell you what, they say that mindfulness, hands down, is the best thing that any trauma survivor can utilize to get back into their own body and feel safe and stable. And that breathing is so important. It is the number one tool that actually has been measured to decrease stress, trauma, and triggers. So,
and you're so right. And you're so right. I mean, what do we tell people the minute we see them go off keel? Breathe. I mean, that's just instinctively that what we tell people, but what we don't realize is it does bring down the sympathetic nervous system response. So there are various forms of breath work, and in the yogic tradition, they can be used as pranayama in different ways, but breath is one of the key components to snap us out of a trauma response. So it is very, very important that we help partners understand that they can use this, and hopefully after 7 days, they'll have a little bit more handle and understanding on the different forms of breath work in that we can bring to play, depending on what they're going through at a given point in time.
Well, right. And you and I both know, we've both been on the board of APSATS, truly the premier organization for partner sensitivity and looking at partners through the eyes of trauma. And again, before you came on, I said, not every partner is traumatized by their spouse's sex addiction, but 99% of them are. And that's a natural byproduct of finding out that you aren't safe with the person you love. And 100%. You and I both do ERCEM, so we know that we can get them feeling safe, but the partner needs to find their own safety within themselves again. And
absolutely.
Go ahead.
I know. I was saying I couldn't have said it better, because that's what this retreat is about: re-engaging back with themselves. Because we know this. 10 years I've been working with partners now, Carol. I did the math in this part of the world, and you see them have all these out-of-body dissociated kind of sensations. Again, it might not all lead to PTSD or all lead to PTSS, but in the moment, the safety is gone. There is no two ways about it. They are all trying to figure out what just happened. And a lot of them have that dissociated sense, feeling unsafe, not knowing where to go. Getting them back into trusting themselves, that actually this is not about something going wrong with them. They are just reacting and responding actually quite appropriately to what is happening around them is critical. But at the same time, helping them see that they do still have control. They do still have the agency to make healthy choices for themselves and for their own recovery. That is most important. It's about bringing their own sense of self into the recovery.
Well, I know we can't talk price, but I will tell our listening audience that it is a very reasonable cost for this retreat. And will you tell us the dates of the retreat? Because it's coming up fast, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. It's 18th to the 25th of November. It is coming up fast because it's in India. Some visa requirements might be needed. I don't know. People listening in different countries might have their own passports to figure it out. But if they reach out to me, I can guide them along the way to say, how they can go ahead and make those plans. And if they sign up before the 20th of August, they get $100 off from already, and that's, I'm talking SGD. So the price that they'll see on the brochures, and in fact, I'm not very tech savvy, you know this about me, Carol, but thanks to my nieces, they helped me put up an Instagram page for the retreat specifically. And if they get on that and they want to see more about it, the brochure is there. They can obviously message me via my email, which is also given on the brochure. And it's just something that I feel if they sign up before 20th of August, they get another $100 off from an already very reasonable price. But the last date for it is 7th of September because one of the things that, it's a double-edged sword. I wanted to be in an exclusive place, which is a small place, but which also means they can't hold our rooms forever and they need a lead time to block the rooms. So 7th of September is the last date for registration. But before 20th of September, they get an early bird discount of another $100.
Well, and so that's 6 more days that they have to get that early bird registration cost. Now, I want to give everybody Aarti's email, and then I want you to tell us about Instagram and how they can find you there. So
Sure.
Aarti's email is AARTI28@hotmail.com. Now, most people would spell Aarti ARTI, but Aarti is AARTI. And again, that's 28@hotmail.com. And then how do they find you on Instagram?
They can look for the page #discovery_2_recovery. So it's discovery to recovery. And they can find me there.
Okay. And so Instagram would probably be the best way for them to review the retreat center, review both you and the yoga instructor, and really get to see where you would be staying. I mean, this is a vacation of a lifetime and it's focused on you. And so we realize that this is the worst thing that's ever happened to you next to the death of a child. And Aarti believes in self-care, intentional self-care and nurturing. And that's what this retreat is all about. We are both clinical certified empathy specialists, and Aarti and I are both CCPSs, which means we've been certified by APSATS as partner specialists. And we were the first organization that recognized that when this happened to you, it was an automatic trauma response. And so you said something earlier. You said post-traumatic, you said PTSS. Tell our listening audience what PTSS is.
Yeah, so, sometimes people don't want to call it a disorder. They call it symptoms, post-traumatic stress symptoms. So if it doesn't come into the disorder category, some people like to call it post-traumatic stress symptoms. But whatever it is, it comes around the fact that you are feeling unsafe. What you thought your life is, or what you thought you could trust or believe or take to the bank, ain't true anymore. You are in a place where you're kind of trying to figure out, which way is up and which way is down, quite literally. So by any stretch of imagination, it is one of the most traumatic experiences. Whether it leads to an all-out disorder, we don't want to talk about. I mean, we can't say, because it's like you said, Carol, not everybody might have a traumatic disorder, according to the DSM. But in that moment, it is extremely traumatic. And till good recovery happens, it still feels like it's following you around. So I think it's important to give everybody, wherever you find yourself, if you want to self-categorize as a PTSD or a PTSS, or your clinician or your coach or whoever helps you down that path, what is non-negotiable is your safety has been compromised and you're feeling you don't know which way to land. That's where we come in to support that process of recovery, of gaining back your sense of self, gaining back your own. I love that phrase, Carol, intentional self-care, because that's what it is. It's about, not just being passively a recipient of what is happening around you, but taking charge and saying, this is about me. I had nothing to do with what has happened to me. It was not my fault in any way, but I can take charge of how I'm going to respond to the situation. And that's what this is about. And I
was going to say, my listening audience knows that I have 2 coaching principles. And the very first one is, I am responsible for my own life. And we all know that if you get T-boned, a car runs into you, or if partner betrayal happens, you didn't cause it and you're not responsible for it. You are responsible for yourself. And for me, this retreat seems like something that can be assisted in any stage that you're in. I'm thinking about women that are in discovery that just need to get out and be with supportive people and reground themselves again. Yeah. And then I think about the woman that's 20 or 30 years into this, and they're not feeling better. They're feeling safer, but they're not feeling better because they're not focusing in on themselves as much. And your retreat empowers women to do that. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, because we all have have had partners who have, the initial chaos is gone. They've used tools appropriately and correctly to feel grounded enough. The initial, high energy states have depleted. There's a sense of security, safety coming back in, because he's let's say in this example, he's doing well and he's committed to the recovery process, but yet they're not really progressing, because it's kind of like what I like to call a nice little comfort silent zone. So they stay there because they're also scared to rock the boat, because we're not fighting, we're not in that completely explosive moment, so let's just hold. But that's also not moving forward in recovery. So a retreat such as this will help them do that as well, kind of take them to the next step. And why I say them in this process is, assuming that he's doing well in his recovery, this is a gift that he can give his partner too. We talk about empathy all the time. How can he show actionably that he understands her needs as well? Like, she's been there when he's gone inpatient or to the rehab and spent weeks on his recovery, taking care of the kids at the height of her own discombobulatedness, when she was completely faced with all of this. When he comes back and he's feeling more grounded, if he said, listen, now you focus on yourself, go to this retreat, take care of yourself, that is empathy in action. That is something that he can give as a gift to her, and to show that he sees all her efforts and sees that her health, her inner care, self-care is so important, because that's what's going to bring them both together. We talk about the relational healing piece. It's about both of them working together for and with each other. So that's when, I feel that even the people who are in recovery have a part to play in encouraging their partners to go for these retreats, because they get so caught up in the day-to-day of the kids, of the house, of the bills, of everything. It takes somebody who's in good recovery to step up and say, I got this for a week. You go take care of yourself. I want you to do this. And when you come back, we'll still be there and I will take care of things. And can you imagine how much that would make a partner feel better and grounded and supported if he could say that to her?
Well, absolutely. And again, before you came on, I was talking about the fact that so many people have points. I mean, they make those flights and not have to invest money and use their points. And it's all about being creative. You know, this happened to you, or for sex addicts that are listening, because this show is for both.
Correct.
You know, this is a real gift that you can give her. It's not just a retreat in the United States, although we don't have many of those either for women. We really don't. We've got retreats that are generalized, but not with somebody like Aarti and Aarti's caliber, where she can walk you through those 3 phases of partner betrayal. Now, this is something you could give her. And I'm telling you, you go to the Instagram site so that you can see what you would be doing. I am such a believer in environment, and I feel like our environment is so important to our everyday life. And this caused such a fracture in the relationship. It caused a tsunami, if you will, in terms of what somebody believes is safety in her own life. And so we can't guarantee that she's going to be healed from this. But what we know is when you do intentional self-care and you learn these skills and you take them back home and you practice them with due diligence, you are feeding yourself that opportunity to get healthier quicker. And there should be nothing spared in that. So I'm so thrilled that you're putting this together. Now, you said it starts with an hour and a half or 2 hours of meditation in the morning.
Right. So again, without going into super specifics, the way we've structured it, and you know, when they sign up, they're going to get all their welcome package that has all of it structured day to day, what we're going to do, what we're not going to do. So it's going to have all of that. But just to give you an overall, the way we've planned it is we're going to start off with an hour of yoga and breath work in the morning to get us moving, get ourselves intended for the day. And we're going to end with breath work and meditation. So we're going to kind of bookend the day with something like that. We're also going to have nearly 3 to 5 hours, depending, because I've also put in some fun activities. I'll talk about that in a minute, but 3 to 5 hours daily of therapy work, which will be with group, with share, and solid therapeutic interventions that they can take home in terms of printable exercises and tools that they will have with them. And they would have practiced it with us in the group. There'll be group share time. That's also part of it. So we're looking at, in the whole 7 days, at least about 25 hours of therapeutic work. That will also going to be coming into this group and share and, taking these tools with them. I have also, got some fun activities because you're coming all the way to India. You need to get to do something culturally Indian. So there are going to be some cooking classes for the ladies who might want to try out their hand on some Indian cuisines. Just something on the side. So to break the monotony, if you would, of just doing therapy work. And some lovely hikes, like you saw the pictures, right? We are in these beautiful mountains. In fact, we're planning to do outdoor yoga as well, because it's going to be in the nature, literally in the lap of these beautiful Nilgiri mountains of India, which are in the south of India, and bonfire nights if the weather permits. So we are going to the mountains. We're going to be pretty much at the mercy of nature as well. But I'm told November is a beautiful time to be there, and I'm excited because these are slight things that we're going to do, which are going to be fun, which are going to be bonding, but at the same time, they're going to keep the focus also on what we are trying to achieve, which is getting inner self-care in various stuff. And they have a spa, which is not part of the package, but if they want, individual people can book a Ayurvedic spa as well if they wanted to get a good massage.
Yeah, I know that is something to consider. It's not part of the package, but what do you need in addition to take even better care of yourself? So I want to remind everybody, you can email Aarti at aarti28@hotmail.com, or you can go to her Instagram page. And one more time, give them the location.
The location, you want the location is Munnar, Kerala, in the south of India. And once you get to the nearest international airport, we will get you to the resort. That's part of the package. But to get to that point, it's up to you. So if whoever is interested, please reach out to me. I can guide you on how to get there and what would be needed. So it's not something that we're taking you to the hills, which means you're going to be a little away from civilization. We're taking you away from the airport, but the package does include to and from transportation from the international airport. So don't worry about that. You can reach me again on Instagram as well. Like Carol said, it's discovery_to_recovery, discovery to recovery, and you'll have more details there, and you can even message me and we can talk some more.
Well, you know, there is such power in groups. And how many women would you like to have at this retreat?
So that's a very good question. We're going to keep it really small, which is another reason I'm coming on to talk to you about it, because we're getting full. But we're going to keep it really small. The maximum number of women we are going to have is 9 people in the group. The magic number is 9 because I don't want it to be like a really big group, because then I feel it might take away from what we're trying to do with the individual attention and the individual work as well. So the maximum number of people we're looking at is 9. So it'll be a very intimate group.
That is unheard of, to have that kind of intimacy and that kind of sisterhood as people walk through this together. Now, will everybody speak English?
Yes, everybody would speak English. English will be the medium of communication, because I have people coming internationally and I speak English, like you can hear me. So it is going to be in English. My yoga instructor speaks amazing English, so it's all going to be in English. We are not speaking local language at this point in the retreat. I can translate. So if you have local activities, I can do the translation because I'm Indian, so I can help with a little bit of that. It's South Indian at that. But within the retreat, it's going to be catering to English-speaking members to join in.
Okay, so last date for early bird is August 20th. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Right. And they can register on Instagram. Is there any other way
they can reach out to me on Instagram, and I will guide them through the registration process. It's a very simple process. They need to fill in a form and let me know that they are, basically understanding where they're at. And then they make the payment and it's done. Fairly simple, very, very uncomplicated.
And that's the way it should be, because we know that women tend to put their needs on the back burner. And sometimes that's why they don't get better, because they're putting themselves last. And so this retreat is an opportunity to take care of you, the partner. And if you're an addict, I want you to check out this page and think about how you may be able to put this together for her. So Aarti, thank you so much for coming on, talking about this. This is truly a one-of-a-kind retreat, and I'm so excited for you. You're one of my co-instructors at ERCEM. I know the kind of work you do, and this will be amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And I am super excited. I am really, really charged about helping partners take something back from this retreat. So that's something that I want to be really focused on, and tell people that when you come here, check out the Instagram page, you will see all the takeaways that I'm going to be focusing on. So I think check it out, do this for yourself, sign up quickly, because like I said, it's a small group. And let's, I hope many, many people, many, many partners will benefit from this moving forward.
Well, thank you, Aarti. We'll talk soon. Keep me abreast of how things are going. I want to know.
Right. I will. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. And so I hope that you will be able to think about how you might treat yourself to this. It is really imperative that you find ways of increasing your self-care. And, that's a hard thing when you're in the midst of chaos. And if you've been in this 10 or 20 years, You may have figured out how to do some of that. You may need a boost of how to do more of it. Well, I'm Carol the coach. Thanks for coming on with me through Zoom audio. I love that I have other ways of putting this show together. And as I say at the end of every episode, there'll only be one of you at all times. I want you to fearlessly have the courage to be yourself. We'll see you next week for more sex help with Carol the coach.